Here's what happened during week 6 of The Greenhouse Season 2. The Greenhouse Challenge had players bet on how long it would take them to complete different tasks. The player who completed the task the fastest would win an extra seed. Patrick dominated the challenge and won 3 extra seeds. The 3 players who entered the greenhouse were Patrick, Maddie, and Caitlin. At the flower picking ceremony, Patrick chose sunflower, Maddie chose rose, and Caitlin chose 2 seeds.
I felt good so far. We possibly drew a line in the sand in the last round because Patrick wanted to keep Carlin for obvious reasons. With Brody campaigning so hard against her, I got Victoria and Johnny to vote with me, and we were the 3 and they were the 2. So now it's obvious that we didn't vote with them. I don't know if that's going to shoot me in the foot this round. Now I feel like Patrick is a wild card. And he needs to go. And then Laura needs to go. And then you know what? I think Brody needs to go. Unless they get me out first. We'll see.
Maddie and Laura discussed targeting their enemies in the game, Victoria and Caitlin. Maddie wanted to see Victoria go potentially because she had the most clashes with Victoria, while Laura wanted to see Caitlin go because Laura and Caitlin have clashed quite a bit. Patrick and Brody agreed that either Caitlin or Victoria should go this week. Brody and Patrick discussed different Final Four deals. Patrick pitched working with the guys, being Clay, Johnny, Patrick, and Brody. Brody also pitched working with Maddie and Laura, making a Final Four of Brody, Patrick, Laura, and Maddie. Victoria was upset that she would be under fire this week because she would be nominated most likely by Maddie, who she viewed as a player that hasn't done much in the game. I would like to note that at this point, Maddie has won more competitions than Victoria. Patrick and Maddie agreed that most likely Caitlin and Victoria should be the 2 outright nominees. Patrick considered potentially putting up Clay or Johnny as a pawn instead of Caitlin.
It's really just trying to choose between like a few different people because I have like a lot of people that I know for a fact I don't want out of the game right now. But like I feel like it might upset some people. But that's the game, so at this point I don't care.
Who are you closest with right now?
Laura and Patrick.
And who do you think are your biggest threats?
Right now I feel like if we don't get Victoria and Caitlin out of the game, that could really sway in a different direction than what I would like the game to go. So, probably them.
Patrick pitched an all-guy Final Four alliance to Johnny. Additionally, Patrick asked Johnny if he would be willing to be a pawn against Victoria. Johnny was uncomfortable, and Patrick recognized that Johnny had not nominated Patrick several times, while Clay had fewer opportunities to nominate, so potentially Clay would be a better option as a pawn. Johnny went to Brody and said that he was concerned that he would be nominated as a pawn this week. Brody assured Johnny that he would be safe because Brody had an extra vote, and their Final Four alliance with Clay and Victoria would definitely control the vote at the banishment ceremony. Patrick told Caitlin that he was considering nominating Caitlin. He agreed not to nominate Caitlin if she would agree not to buy Uproot from Off the Block, making him a very cornered person who had to make nominations. Caitlin didn't really accept the deal and more or less told Patrick to nominate her. Patrick asked Clay if he would be willing to act as a pawn this week. Clay said outright that he was uninterested in being on the block.
So, in this round, I feel pretty safe. Maddie's definitely not going to put me up. Which, I mean, I'm working with Maddie. The top right now would be Patrick. I haven't gotten a chance to talk to Patrick, but I'm pretty sure I'm safe with him. So for this round, I feel good. I'm just nervous about what's going to happen moving forward as the cast gets smaller and smaller and we really have to draw some lines. I don't even know who I would target anymore because I'm so confused on who is aligned with who. I'm aligned with Patrick and Brody, but then Brody will say something negative about Patrick, and then it's all very confusing. So I don't know.
Ideally, who would you like to see go home this week?
this week, I still am not vibing with Caitlyn or Victoria. And I would like to see Victoria go. No, I'm sorry. I would like to see Caitlyn go because I nominated her, so I feel like that might give her something against me. And I don't have anything bad with Victoria, so probably Caitlyn. Yeah.
Patrick told Laura that Caitlyn and Victoria would be the likely nominees this week. Additionally, he brought up the Final Four deal between Laura, Maddie, and Brody that Brody had pitched in his one-on-one with Patrick. Laura and Maddie confirmed a Final Four with Brody and Patrick. Keep in mind this is Brody's third Final Four deal. This one, the one with all the guys, and the one with Victoria, Johnny, and Clay.
Oh my goodness, I'm making too many deals. I think I have 4 Final Fours at this point.
Which one are you most loyal to?
Johnny, whichever one that is. If it's with Johnny, I trust it, but I think the one that trusts me the most is Laura, Maddie, and Patrick. And I think I'm 4th in that group, but I don't really care. All I need is a chance. Because, you know, your boy makes magic happen. So, I don't know. I'm going to go round by round at this point. I'm going to ping pong back and forth as long as I can until I get caught with my pants down, and then I'll beg for forgiveness.
Caitlyn let Patrick know that she wasn't so sure about going on the block anymore because she was worried that she would be outbid for Uproot to save herself. Patrick offered to give her a seed in order to help calm her nerves.
I spent this round trying to set up my end game, and I have 2 options that both include Brody. One is with Maddie, Laura, and Brody, and the other is with Johnny, Clay, and Brody. In my ideal end game, it's me, Laura, Maddie, and Brody, and we get Brody out. And then it's me, Laura, and Maddie, because I feel like the jury won't respect Maddie, and I feel like they have a little bit of like dislike for Laura because like the way that she's kind of been like a little bit like more reserved, and so I think I might be like the only option. But that's like perfect world shit. I don't know if Brody's planning on cutting me. Good for him. But like the way I see it, the only way I'm getting like deep to the end, because I think he has better relationships with Clay and Johnny, is with him. So if he wants to cut me, I kind of have to deal with that. I would have liked it more if Caitlyn went home this week because I feel better about Victoria if she was empowered, but the way the greenhouse went, she has too many seeds, so we'll see how it goes.
At the nomination ceremony, Caitlyn and Victoria were nominated, as expected. As soon as the auction started, Caitlyn bid 3 seeds on Uproot to try to save herself. With Caitlyn poised to take herself off the block, Victoria pointed out that either Clay or Johnny would be the replacement nominee, leaving 2 members of the Final Four alliance of Victoria, Clay, Brody, and Johnny up on the block. In order to save the Final Four, Victoria, Clay, and Brody decided that Clay could bid for the Uproot and save Victoria, making them both safe. This would likely land Johnny on the block, but the 3 of them would have enough votes to send Caitlyn home and protect the Final Four. Expecting to name a replacement nominee if Caitlyn took herself off the block, Patrick once again asked Johnny if he would be comfortable going up as a pawn. Johnny was still not comfortable with the thought. Patrick then went to Clay and asked Clay the same question. Clay instead responded by saying that he would buy the Uproot for himself to save Victoria and make both him and Victoria safe. Brody was shockingly open about his deal with Victoria, Clay, and Johnny when speaking to Caitlyn, and said that he wouldn't be able to help her unless she was able to buy Uproot for herself. Clay bid 4 seeds on Uproot, overtaking Caitlyn's bid. Patrick gave Caitlyn a seed just as he promised before the nomination ceremony. However, when Caitlyn went to bid, she had second thoughts and decided it would be best to talk to Clay first. Clay explained to Caitlyn that he was going for Uproot to secure his own safety because he did not want to sit on the nomination chair. Clay wouldn't commit to saving Caitlyn, but he did reveal that he had 8 seeds compared to Caitlyn's 5. Knowing that Clay would win the auction, Caitlyn decided not to up the bid in order to avoid spending too many seeds.
So Clay did bid 4, which I don't know why he didn't come talk to me because I do have 2 seeds and this is for me, so I would have given my seeds to him. I don't really know why he decided to just use all 4 of his own. I don't know what's gonna happen. I would like to say, and I have said, that Clay is my strongest ally, so I don't really know if what's gonna happen, because like Caitlin's talking to him right now, and it's like, why would he use his seeds to save her if she was purchasing the uproot? That doesn't make sense. So I haven't gotten to talk to him since he placed the bid, so now I'm anxiously waiting for him to be available.
Clay told Victoria that he planned to save Victoria, and the two locked in their loyalty moving into the endgame. Patrick voiced that he thought that Clay was being too paranoid by making this aggressive move at the auction. Johnny said that he was shocked to be facing the block and was a bit upset. At the end of the auction, Clay bought Uproot for 4 seeds. He saved Victoria, and the two were safe from banishment. The final nominees were Caitlyn and Johnny. Brody also purchased a seed count for 1 seed. A seed count can be bought by any player at any time during the game, and Holly shows that player the spreadsheet of how many seeds every player has in the game. Following the drama of the auction, Patrick, Laura, and Maddie agreed to try to scoop up Johnny as an ally because Johnny was upset with Clay for buying the Uproot.
What if what I'm being told is true? Me, Patrick, Brody, and Maddie are like good. Like we're like a solid group. I think it's crazy that I'm working with Brody in this game after I bitched about Big Brother 18 for like 2 years. But that's just what has worked out for me in this game. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with it. As long as it's working for me, I'm gonna stick with it.
Clay and Victoria apologized for sending Johnny to the block, but they said that they were only doing so to protect the Final Four alliance they had with Brody and Johnny. This alliance had 3 of the 4 available votes at the upcoming banishment ceremony, so they were supposed to have the majority as long as there was no funny business with the banked votes.
Definitely was a little blindsided by the Clay thing. He told me that he wanted to go final 2, but I still believe him. I think he played his cards safe, but kind of like what Laura was telling me, that it wouldn't have really made a difference if each of those 2 would have been kept on the block. It would have been fine. I still don't want to be here, a little nervous, but I'm thinking that everyone really does like me and wants to keep me here, and there's no reason to get rid of me, so we'll see in a few minutes.
Brody was honest with Caitlyn that he planned to vote to banish Caitlyn. Whenever Caitlyn talked to her closer allies, Victoria and Clay, she got mixed messages from them both and began to see the writing on the wall.
Oh my god. Honestly, I'm annoyed at how this whole situation has gone. I'm annoyed that I didn't get into the greenhouse this round because that would have fixed so many things. But I told Johnny I would keep him safe. That is my goal. I told Victoria I would keep her safe for as long as I can. And I just want Brody to stick with the group for a couple more rounds, and then I will come for you. But this is getting messy, and am I too close? This is getting messy, and Laura and Patrick need to be separated, I think. If I can get one of them out, I can get Maddie out, and then I can get the other one.
Clay apologized to Johnny personally for sending him to the block. Johnny said that all was good, and that he was pretending to be upset to try to throw the others off. When Patrick got some alone time with Johnny, he continued to throw Clay under the bus, calling his actions at the auction paranoid. Johnny made it seem like Clay would have to work for his forgiveness.
So how you feeling this round?
I think the chaos that just ensued over fucking nothing is great for me, because before I was worried about Brody wanting to cut me early, and now I feel like I even have inroads with other people to where if I'm on the block against most people, I should be safe. because of what just happened. Because Clay creating this rip between him and Johnny allows me to get in better with Johnny. So I think if I'm on the block against anyone except Brody, I should be fine. And I mean, if Brody wants me out, I mean, maybe if I'm against Maddie, I might go home. But I feel like I have Laura's vote. I'd have Johnny's vote. I don't know. I just feel really good. I don't know if I do this thing where I play where I always think I'm in a really good spot, and then sometimes it pans out, and sometimes it doesn't. So we'll see. I feel really good. If I can just get past this next round where I can't have Greenhouse, I think I'll be fine. And I got a few seeds in my pocket, so I need to talk to Brody to get a seed count, and I'm gonna try to use that to my advantage.
Caitlyn had one final conversation with her longtime enemy Laura, and Laura was honest, saying that she planned to vote to eliminate Caitlyn. Laura explained that she didn't talk to Caitlyn much throughout the day because she likes to pick her allies and avoid making too many ties with the people she planned to eliminate. And the banishment speaks for itself. You have been banished from the greenhouse. Thank you for playing.
You want to sit on my back with me? No. All right. It's just me, you guys.
Only 7 remain. Who will be banished next? The story continues next week on The Greenhouse Season 2.